SA 505 is what? External confirmation. External confirmation means what? Is it an audit procedure or an audit evidence? External confirmation is the audit procedure. Yes or no? Yes, external confirmation we saw as an audit procedure in SA 500 A. That E stands for external confirmation. Now the definition of external confirmation is you are doing the audit procedure for what? To obtain audit evidence. The audit evidence obtained as a direct written response. To whom? From whom? To the auditor from the third party. In what form? In paper, electronic or any other medium. Now what are the important terms? We saw 4 terms. One is positive response, negative response, non-response and exception. Positive means what? Whether he agrees or disagrees, he will be answering. Negative means what? Only if he disagrees, he will be answering. Can you use negative in all circumstances? No. When will you use negative? When the risk of material misstatement is low, when the population is small and homogeneous account balance, class of transaction and disclosure. When you know that when you ask them that the exception rate will be low and you know that he will not throw the request in the dustbin, will not disregard the request. So negative confirmation uses are only these 4. Now coming back here, what are the uses of external confirmation as such? You can confirm the terms of the agreement. You can confirm for any contracts or any transactions with 2 people, with the entities and also with the third parties. If there is any amount which is due to the lenders which is showing in your balance sheet for a long time, you can get an external confirmation directly with those lenders. And if there is any title, property title deed which has been given as a collateral, that also you will be able to check. So these are the uses for external confirmation. Now I have one question. I am an auditor of a company. I am not able to go. So I am sending another auditor to go and conduct the audit. Now that other auditor did the external confirmation and he is giving it to me. Is that considered as an external confirmation? No. Why? It should be direct written response. Are you able to understand here the meaning? It is a direct written response. Only 2 parties here. To the auditor from a third party. Are you able to understand? Clear, guys? Now for external confirmation there are a few procedures which you have to follow. What is the information that you want external confirmation? To whom you should ask that external confirmation? The way you design the request for that external confirmation, most important, I told you, because there are so many factors which is going to directly affect the response rate. On the basis you are going to design the request. What is the assertion that you are addressing? Any specific risk if you are addressing, including financial reporting framework. What is the layout of that letter that you are going to send to them and the presentation? Do you have any prior experience? If you do, then that is going to be of help. And what is the method of communication? So usually when you go for external confirmation, the management has to give what? They have to give the authorization for you to go. So whether the management is giving you the authorization, whether that person has the ability to even confirm whatever you are asking, all of these directly affect the response rate that you are going to get when you are sending the external confirmation. This comes under design request. Then you will be sending the request, and will you leave it like that? Sending the request including follow-up request. Very, very good. Now when you go and ask the management, is the management going to say yes, yes, you disturb whomever you want? They are going to refuse. So management's refusal to allow the auditor to send the confirmation request. Now what are you going to see? Whether it is reasonable or not. What example did I tell you for that reasonableness? Fights, or there is a legal suit, or there is a dispute between 2 people, then don't go and ask them. Of course they are not going to respond to you. Now if it is reasonable, then you will be performing alternate audit procedures. But when you are doing alternate audit procedures, you are not able to do it, then what will you do? You will modify, no doubt, but you have to communicate with those charged with governance as per SA 260. If they are giving you some reason which is not reasonable, then also you will modify. But in that case also, first you will have to communicate with those charged with governance. Now with the results of external confirmation, now what do you have? You have your trust issues, you have your doubts about the reliability, or you are concluding that it is not reliable at all. There is also one more scenario where you don't have any doubts about the reliability, then no problem at all. Doubts about reliability, what will you do? Further audit evidence. If it is not reliable at all, what will you do? Evaluate the implications on the assessment of the risk of material misstatement. If it is not that material, then you will leave it. But if you are seeing the implications, but it is very material, then you will be revising the risk of material misstatement and you will be designing the further audit procedures accordingly. The same concept. Are you able to understand? With this essay, 505 external confirmation comes to an end.